Strap in and get tuned, because we're counting down the best budget studio monitors that punch above their price. Today, I'm going to be going over the best budget studio monitors that you can get right now. All of the products mentioned are linked in the description, so check them out if you're interested in any of them. With that, let's begin. At number 5, we have the ArcticPro Monitor. The ArcticPro Monitor is a compact two-way near-field speaker designed to deliver intelligent fidelity on a tight budget. Its enclosure is built with a rigid, dense cabinet that minimizes vibrational coloration, and the front baffle is gently contoured to reduce edge diffraction while projecting a clean, focused image. Woofer is a 4-inch mid-bass driver paired with a 1-inch tweeter, a pairing that emphasizes a balanced mid-range with listening-friendly treble. In practical terms, this means you hear acoustic guitar strings with a natural bite, vocals that sit squarely in the center without oversharp sibilance, and percussion that remains articulate without turning harsh as you push the volume. Porting is designed to minimize cascade effects in small rooms, allowing the bass to feel present without taking over the entire mix. Build quality is sturdy for the price, with metal grills, a beveled edge on the cabinet, and a non-slip pad under the speaker foot so it stays in place on busy desks. On the back panel, you'll find a couple of input options, RCA and 1/4-inch TRS, so you can connect to everything from a basic laptop interface to a compact audio interface without adapters. The overall effect is a monitor that translates your music in a way that is faithful enough for editing. Dumbbells down the intimidation factor for beginners, yet expressive enough to keep a seasoned engineer engaged during long sessions. The ArcticPro Monitor shines brightest in everyday mixing tasks where you want honest low-end presence without subwoofers, a crisp high-end that won't fatigue the ear, and enough headroom to prevent audible clipping when you turn the volume up in a typical bedroom or home studio. Paired to the PreSonus Eris 3.5, which I have included as number 4 on this list, the ArcticPro Monitor trades a touch of top-end extension for a more forgiving mid-range presence and a stable, reliable imaging profile that helps vocals stay anchored even when the mix gets busy. At number 4, we have the PreSonus Eris 3.5. The PreSonus Eris 3.5 is a compact, budget-friendly two-way studio monitor that puts emphasis on a clean, controlled sound in a small footprint. Its cabinet is compact and satiny to the touch, designed to minimize resonance while keeping the cabinet cool under typical desktop listening conditions. The 3.5-inch woofer and its paired tweeter deliver a surprisingly wide sweet spot for such a small speaker, helping you maintain consistent imaging as you move your head slightly away from the listening axis. On the rear panel, you'll find straightforward level controls and a simple high/low shelf EQ, allowing you to tailor the response to your room, desk, or monitor position. The Eris 3.5 excels at translating microphone sources with minimal coloration, so you hear a dry take with clear details in the mids and upper mids that are critical for vocal clarity and guitar work. Connectivity, you gain both balanced and unbalanced options, XLR and 1/4-inch TRS inputs, as well as a secondary RCA input, which makes it easy to link to an auxiliary device for quick level checks or to audition playback with consumer gear. The overall sonic character is neutral enough for editing dialogue in video projects and music creation alike, with a light touch on the bass that ensures it never muddies transients in faster genres. In longer sessions, you'll appreciate the Eris 3.5's steady, controlled bass and the way the high frequencies stay crisp without any hint of brittle edge. Compared to the PreSonus Eris 3.5 BT, which I have included as number 3 on this list, the wired Eris 3.5 trades convenience for a slightly purer, more immediate stereo image, and removes the potential latency concerns that can accompany Bluetooth playback. At number 3, we have the PreSonus Eris 3.5 BT. The 3.5 BT adds the convenience of Bluetooth streaming to the familiar Eris 3.5 chassis, letting you wirelessly audition reference tracks from a laptop, phone, or tablet without muting your workflow. Sound depends a bit on how you pair the system, but in typical settings, you'll notice that the Bluetooth path retains the Eris family's characteristic balance: a clear, honest midrange, a controlled bass foundation, and a treble that remains smooth rather than overly bright. USB-A on some models is a quick route for audio transfer in modern workflows, while the main inputs are still the same robust XLR and 1/4-inch TRS connections, with the added advantage of a dynamic Bluetooth connection when you want to check a rough mix from your phone or a streaming playlist. The Eris 3.5 BT keeps the same compact footprint as its wired sibling, with a similar cabinet construction and front ports that help the bass response remain tight and non-boomy in standard desk arrangements. Users will appreciate the ability to calibrate the LF and HF response on the back panel to tighten up bass in tight rooms or to brighten the high end in a dimmer environment, making it adaptable for spoken word or music that needs a touch more sparkle. The result is a versatile monitor that bridges the gap between wired studio accuracy and wireless convenience, so you can audition ideas quickly between sessions. Compared to the Edifier R980T, which I have included as number 2 on this list, the Eris 3.5 BT offers a cleaner, more modern top end and a more precise stereo image, though the Edifier's bigger woofer and warmer overall character can feel more forgiving for casual listening. At number 2, we have the Edifier R980T. The Edifier R980T takes a more traditional bookshelf approach with a slightly larger 4-inch woofer and a more robust overall build for budget-oriented desktop setups. The cabinet uses a wood veneer that contributes to a warmer, more forgiving midrange, a trait many editors value when listening to voice tracks and acoustic guitars for long projects. The pair uses a twin speaker arrangement with dual inputs, mostly RCA in the classic Edifier line, so you can wire up directly to a home stereo or a simple interface and enjoy powerful, room-filling sound from a compact pair. You will notice a confident low-end presence for a studio monitor in this category, aided by a ported cabinet that helps anchor the bass without resorting to overhang or flabby resonance. The treble is clear and sheened, not overly bright, which makes these monitors particularly approachable for writers and editors who seek a smoother reference for dialogue pacing. Edifier's design philosophy here leans toward warmth and musicality rather than surgical precision on the top end, which translates well to podcasts and voice-over work when you need to hear your subjects with a natural sheen. Connectivity remains straightforward. RCA inputs with a reasonable input impedance, allowing you to pair the R980T with many consumer devices without a headache. The result is a monitor that pairs nicely with a home studio or post-production setup, delivering generous volume headroom for a budget class and a friendly musical response that guides you without fatigue. Compared to the Yamaha HS3, which I have included as number 1 on this list, the Edifier provides a warmer overall vibe and a bigger perceived bass presence, which can be beneficial for rough mix decisions and rough playback checks in small rooms. At number 1, we have the Yamaha HS3. The Yamaha HS3 is a compact, proven near-field reference that has earned its place at the top end of this budget-friendly cohort through a disciplined, honest sound signature. HS3 uses a two-way design with a compact woofer and a well-timed tweeter, designed to deliver a flat enough response for editing tasks while still presenting enough spectral clarity to reveal sibilance and breath in vocal takes. The cabinet is built to minimize internal reflections, and the porting is tuned to avoid boominess while preserving a natural sense of space in the low end. Inputs are flexible, mixing XLR and 1/4-inch TRS connections with a simple, intuitive layout, so you can swap between a professional audio interface and consumer devices without fuss. The result is a monitor that remains coherent and stable across a range of listening positions, with accurate mid-range reproduction that makes dialogue and dual-track music sit solidly in the mix. Long sessions on the HS3 reveal its strength, a disciplined, transient response that renders drums and percussive hits with crisp attack, and a surprisingly clean smear of ambience that helps you judge reverb and room tone without chasing artificial brightness. You'll notice that instruments like piano and woodwinds translate with natural timbre, and the overall listening experience remains fatigue-free even after hours of critical listening. Paired to the ArcticPro Monitor, which I have included as number 5 on this list, the Yamaha HS3 is more linear across the frequency spectrum and provides more consistent imaging, though the ArcticPro offers a bit more forgiving bass presence in smaller rooms where room modes can conspire to muddy a tighter monitor's bottom end.